So we're back to where we were. So just reviewing what I've got so far is I've got this thing that clicks, clear, clicks more. Neither of them do anything. So what I want is I want an object to show up when more is clicked that will draw squares. So what object do I want? Well, first I'm going to just use the ball as my object. And because I like objects to be small, I just think it looks better, I'm going to go ahead and set its size to 50%. By changing this to 50% and clicking on it once. So I'm going to put the ball here in a corner. And when more is clicked, I want more of these balls to show up. So, and I want them to go to a random location somewhere on the screen. So I'm going to go to my More button, which is called Button 2. It'd be nicer if this was called More. So I'm going to change Button 2 to More. And I'm going to change button 3 by hitting the I here. I'm going to change it to clear so that I have names for these buttons, more clear. So I'm going to go to more, and I'm going to say when this sprite is clicked, make a clone of ball. Control. Make a clone, create a clone of not myself, but create a clone of ball. All right? So now I'm going to go back to ball. And I'm going to say when I start as a clone, so I'm going to be a new guy starting as a clone, first I want to go to a random location. So if you look at the X and Y down here as I move the mouse, you can see that X is negative 240 there and positive 240 there. Okay? So X goes from negative 240 to positive 240. And Y goes from negative 180 to positive 180. So when I start as a clone, please go to set X to negative 240 to positive 240. Negative 240, you have to make sure that's a negative number in there, to positive 240. So please set X to any range. All right? And if I just did this and I hit more, I'm going to create a whole bunch of these little balls, and they're going to be on a random X. Okay. Now, what I want is I want the balls also to be in a random Y. So I'm going to go here, back to ball, and I'm going to say set Y to a random positive 180 to negative 180. So 180 is the Y range. So negative 180 to positive 180. And if I hit this and I hit more, looks like every time I hit more, a little ball is created. You know, one thing I'm noticing, by the way, is I never want these buttons to be covered by anything. So see how these buttons were just covered by this ball? I always want the buttons to be in the front. So I'm going to go back to my, I'm going to hit stop. It's going to delete all the clones. And I go back to more, and I'm going to say for looks, bring to front. Go to front. That takes the object and puts it in the front. I'm just going to drop that in my forever. Go to front. And I'm going to put that also on my clear button, go to front, and I'm going to make sure it's in the forever. So now, no matter how many times I create these little guys, they will never, ever, ever cover up the buttons, which is good because the buttons are the control. So I want to make sure that they're under the button. Perfect. Okay? Now, do you notice that the original ball is still here? So when I hit stop, right? The original ball is still here, and I don't know if I necessarily want that. I probably want this ball to actually disappear and then just have the clones show up. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to have this control here, this green flag, is only going to apply to the original ball, this guy. So I'm going to have the original ball hide. So I'm going to say, please hide. Now, if I were to hit the green flag, he's gone. Problem is, if I hit more, it doesn't look like any balls are being created. Why? Because the balls always copy the rules of the original ball, and the original ball is hidden. So I have to say to these guys, please show after you start as a clone. So if I do this, then they will start to show up again. Okay, so far so good. Now I want the balls to draw squares. So the first thing I want them to do is I want them to move in a square-like pattern. And I want them to just kind of move over and over and over and over in a square-like way. So I'm going to go ahead and create another when I start as a clone. And this is going to be my moving as a square. So I'm going to repeat something forever, which is move a certain number of steps. I'm going to say like 40 steps. And then I'm going to say turn 90 degrees. And this will draw squares, right? I mean, or at least they'll be moving in squares. I'll show you what I mean by this. So when I hit more, he's constantly going in a square. If I hit another one, he's going in a square. And the squares are 40 in length. Now you can't really tell that they're squares because they're actually not drawing anything. They're just moving in a square-like way. So to get an object to draw something, you need to put a pen down. Think of it like a pen that you're going to drag along the ground. So when I start as a clone, go to a random location, show, and then I'm going to say, please put the pen down. And then draw a square. So let's see what happens here. Aha, drawing a square. Okay, so they're drawing squares. Whenever I click on them, they're drawing squares. Now, a couple things to notice. One is, I'm going to hit stop. And now I probably want the clear button to do something, right? So let's see what the clear button should do. Well, the clear button should clear the screen. So clear. When this sprite is clicked, and if I go to pen, I can clear the screen. So let's go ahead and run this now, see what happens. All right, clear, that's good. More. And if I hit clear, wait a second. Oh, I see what it's doing. It clears the screen, but it's not getting rid of any of these drawing objects, right? So it's not really going to clear the screen. It'll clear it temporarily, I guess. But what I really want is I want these little balls to die. So let's see how I'm going to do that. Well, I'm going to do that by creating a variable. My variable is going to be clear screen, and it's for all sprites. And when the program is started, I'm going to go back to my clear button. When the program is started, it's going to set clear screen to 0. Then, when this sprite is clicked, it's going to set clear screen to 1. Okay. And then, if I go to ball, I can say when I start as a clone, do this forever, but I can also say if clear screen equals 1, if clear screen equals 1, that's the equal sign there. If clear screen equals 1, then delete this clone. So let's see what this does. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit run, and I can clear the screen. Okay, good. Now if I hit more, wait a second, they're not showing up. Why are they not showing up? Well, they're kind of showing up. They're drawing one little line. Huh, okay, let's hit stop, go. Oh, now they're showing up. If I hit clear, I think I see what's going on. What's happening here is that the balls are always getting deleted if this equals 1, right? So when I hit clear, I can set the clear screen to 1, but then I better wait a second and set clear screen back to 0, because otherwise I will never be able to create new balls. So let's see if this works. So we hit this. Okay, that's good. If I hit clear, it clears the screen. If I hit more, I get more squares. Good. Now the only thing I still see wrong is that when I hit clear, the there's some little lines remaining. So I better put this clear at the, I better add another clear. So I'll clear first, I'll wait a second, and then I'll clear everything one last time to make sure that there's no little lines lying around. So let's see. Clear. More, clear. Okay. Maybe a second is too long. So I'm going to go to clear, change this to 1/10 of a second. See if this looks a little better. So I'm going to hit more, clear. Oh yeah. More, clear. More, clear. Now another thing I'm noticing about my little squares is that they're drawing so fast it almost looks like fireflies. I'd kind of like to see them draw their little squares. So I'm going to go back to the ball, and instead of moving, where is this guy? Instead of moving 40 places and turning, I'm going to have it move 40 places in a different way, which is I'm going to repeat 20 times and then move 2 times. Move 2 places. So 2 times 20 is still 40, but if I do this and I replace, if I replace this line here with this line of code, it's going to slow everything down, because instead of moving 40 places all at once, it's going to move 2 places 20 times. So let's go ahead and hit this, hit clear. And now I can see the little balls doing their work. All right. Now, one thing that's a little bit boring about this program, to me, oh, let's hit clear and make sure that they actually clear. Yeah. Oh, it didn't delete the balls. Why didn't it delete the balls when I hit clear? Somehow, my little, oh, I know why. So what's happening, it's not deleting the balls because it only deletes the balls if clear screen equals 1. But what if it's in this loop? What I need to do is I need to take this, put that there, so that now, even if it's stuck in this loop of moving, it will clear the screen. So watch, this will be a different result. Clear. More, and clear. It's going to delete them all, I promise. Yes. Okay, so I solved that problem. Now, one thing I don't like is that the balls always go in a square, of course. I designed them to go in a square. But I guess I would like them occasionally to go in a different direction. Occasionally, I'd like them to do something other than this square thing. So let's go here and say, instead of always turning 90 degrees, I'm going to make a new variable. But importantly, this variable is only going to be for this sprite. So each ball is going to have its own little variable called random. Okay? And what I want to do is I want to change random every time. So I'm going to set random to, let's say, 1 to 10. And if random equals 1, so if random equals 1, then turn another 90 degrees. Okay? So that will make it not draw squares. Right? Or it'll make it do something other than just squares all the time. So let's see what happens here. Turn. Oh, we could actually, we don't even have it. Well, let's see what this does. Let's see if we change this to 90 degrees. What happens? Okay, stop. Clear. And, all right, run. More. So occasionally, it's not going to make a perfect square, like that guy. So we're starting to make this cool grid thing going. A little bit more random. Kind of cool. And I want to get rid of these two variables here. I don't want to see them, so I'm going to go to Data, and I'm going to click on Clear Screen, and I'm going to go to the ball, and I'm going to click on Random. Now those are gone. Now, I wonder what would happen if I change this from 10 degrees to 15 degrees. So let's see what happens. Clear. Sort of a different little art project going. Which way do you prefer? I think I prefer the 90 degrees. I sort of like the symmetry of it. So I'm going to go back to 90 degrees. And I realized there's something else I want to have happen, which is when these little guys hit an edge, so let's hit clear. When these little guys hit an edge, I think I want them to delete. I don't want the balls to live forever. I want them to actually die if they touch the edge. So just like here where I say if clear screen equals 1, delete the edge, or delete the ball, I can say if clear screen equals 1, or another condition would be if touching edge. If touching edge. So take this guy here, put that all in here. So now, if they're ever touching the edge, they will die. So there are a couple ways to kill them. One is to hit clear, of course. Hey, what happened to my blinking? There it is. And clear, good, more. And if they hit the edge, they die. That guy just died when he hit the edge. That was nice. That guy just died when he hit the edge. That's nice. All right, so that's pretty cool. What else do I not like about my program? I wish that these guys drew in different colors. I also wish they were a little bit faster. I feel like they could be a little bit faster. So first, let's make them faster. So instead of doing 20 times 2, let's do 10 times 4. It'll be the same distance, but everybody will move twice as fast. See? That looks more fun. And then another thing I don't particularly like is I wish the lines were a little bit wider. These are very, very skinny lines that they're drawing. So I'm going to go to pen, and I'm going to change the pen size, or set the pen size, not change, set pen size. 1 means skinniest. I'm going to change it to 4. And I'm going to put that on the ball, set pen size to 4 when I start as a clone. Okay. So let's see what this does. Clear, more. Aha, wider lines. Another thing I don't really like is that the lines are always the same color. You know what would be kind of cool is if each one of these little dudes had their very own color. Okay, so when I start as a clone, set pen color, there's 2 ways to set pen color. One is by selecting a color. Don't select that one. Set pen color to, and now I'm going to choose a random number, like between 1 and 100. All right, let's see what this does. So I'm going to hit clear, more. Oh, he's a red dude. Yellow. Snowy, don't bark, please. Okay, look at all these beautiful different colors. Oh, it's so cool. The little balls are drawing. Oh my gosh. I have a functioning clear button, right? Yeah, I wonder what would happen, by the way, if I changed the random from 1 to 10. What if I changed it to 1 to 3? Would that change something? Let's see. Clear. Oh, they're not drawing boxes quite as often anymore. All right, cool. Okay, let's see, what else could I do? I don't know, I think that's kind of a cool program, actually. I guess I could make these guys even faster. So instead of it going from 10 times 4, I'm going to have, let's see, 8 and 5. Let's see what that does. Should be even faster. Clear. All right, so you have a program called Drawing Squares. Shh. What we've learned is about user interface design. We've got a couple of different buttons that you can click on, and it draws these cool squares, does these neat things, and I really love it. I think it's really cool. All right, anything else we should do? Let's think. No, I kind of like it. All right. We are done with this program. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.